So, we meet again. The race has been rejoined. It shall go to the swift. But first, let me catch my breath. Listen, there will be tests of strength, of great strength. I will lift a rock. I can't lift that rock. That rock is too large. I could lift a smaller one. Oh, my back. Listen, let us go across the river and rest beneath the shade of the trees and vote for the athlete of the week. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you may happen to be tuning in. I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Meriden Record Journal, and welcome to this week's edition of Athletes of the Week. It is the Stonewall Jackson Aged Kung Fu Master edition. We're here in week 7, right, Pete? Week 7, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. A lot of postseason stuff going on. We're tired. You look a little tired, Pete, and I understand why, because you've been running, you've been gunning, you've been going all over the place. And my man Pete, my man Sean are fresh from our interviews from our Week 6 winners. We have them. We've added it all up. Our President's Day special. The girls' candidates from last week. If you remember, we had from Sheehan Girls Basketball, Miss Carolyn Beal, helping them win a share of the SEC Hoosie title. We had from Maloney Indoor Track, Miss Hannah Cloutier, who won the Class L Pole Vault Championship. And also, we had from Cheshire Girls Basketball, Miss Emily Yannick. Our winner was, for the second time, our first two-time winner, Hannah Cloutier, Maloney Indoor Track.
Well, we're here at Maloney High with the Class L Pole Vault champ, Hannah Cloutier, and she is a multi-athlete of the week winner. And Hannah, glad to have you back.
It's glad to be here.
Yeah. Tell us about that championship and how you won it.
Well, I mean, the whole championship from the start was kind of like, I got really anxious about it. Mm-hmm. I know all the people who are going to be there, so it was like, I was surrounded by people I knew, so it wasn't like that nervous, like I don't know the runner, I don't know the vaulters, but I knew them all, and I kind of knew where I was, like where I sat with them, and like where we all were in the season. And we all weren't very great in the season, but it's just that day I ended up performing better, and it was really nice. Yeah.
So you made some history here at Maloney. The first ever indoor champion.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does that What does that mean to you?
It means a lot to me. I mean, I wasn't expecting it at all, actually. So to be the very first, that was news to me. I thought like we had other people, but no, not at all.
So, how does it feel? Do you feel different now? You're state champion. Is anything changed?
I feel a lot more like, I don't know. My everyone has been really like loud about it and like telling me about it all the time. My manager at work actually made me a cake for winning Class L's. So he got me a cake, and I walked into work one day and he was all like, it was just there, it was like Class L state champ in the break room, and I was like, why? And then he told all the customers, like he showed the paper to them. So it's just been a lot of people being really proud and happy for me, and it's just been a lot to take in.
Yeah. Do you like being in the spotlight and having all this?
Absolutely not.
No?
No, it's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of pressure on me, so.
Hannah, thank you for taking time to speak with Sean and Peter on this lovely Tuesday. We're filming on Tuesday. You're watching on Wednesday. The weather is April-like, so I'm sure Hannah is out back at Maloney at the moment practicing for outdoor pole vault. Congratulations, Hannah, winner of Week 6. Here now are our Week 7 slate of candidates. We're going back inside because it is still basketball season. All 7 of our girls' basketball teams are in the state tournament. We're pumped to cover the state tournament. The pairings came out today. Tournament starts on Monday. Who's in the mix? We'll tell you who's in the mix. Southington Lady Knights and Miss Allison Carr. Allison, only a freshman. The season started, she was one of those rookies. Coach Mark Forgione basically had Jeanette Wadolowski and a lot of underclassmen. How were things going to develop? Well, they developed quite well. Lady Knights 16-6. Allison, she's a gamer. She averages about 7 points, 7 rebounds a game. She had 19 points against E.O. Smith in the first round of the CCC tournament. On Monday, Southington will be opening up Class L play. Congratulations, Allison. You are nominee number 1 for the girls here in Week 7. Also in the hunt here in the postseason, we're going to go from Class L down to Class L. Who's in the mix? Hey, the both Wallingford schools, all the Meriden schools. Nominee number 2 comes from a Meriden school. She is from the Platte Lady Panthers, Miss Lena Gore Dills. She is part of a very well-balanced Panther attack. Platte was 12-8 in the regular season. They open Class L play next week. Lena has been particularly hot going into the postseason, 4 straight double-doubles. Pete, I've got it written down right here what Lena's been up to, man. Check it out. 15 points against Burleigh, 12 against Maloney. Lena and the Lady Panthers looking to make a couple inroads in the postseason. Be nice to see them do it. Tina and her girls had a very good season. And for our third and final girls nominee in Week 7, we're staying in the Class L brackets. Lyman Hall High School. The Trojans were 10-10 this year, and the girl making it happen, Miss Kaylee Lipka. Third-year starter. She's still only a junior. Kaylee averaged 15.5 points so far this season. We'll see what she does in the postseason. And she also helped her dad, Coach Tom Lipka, win his 150th career game. All right, we're going to move right over to the boys. We've got our winner from last week. We interviewed him today, and Pete, he might be outside practicing on the backtrack too on these lovely days. All right, if you remember, our nominees from Week 6 were Platte wrestler Xavier Arroyo. Xavier finished 3rd in Class M. Congrats to you, Xavier. Also, from Southington, the pole vaulter, Mr. Zack Burley, Class L champion. And our third and final boys nominee from Week 6 was Mr. Brian Oliveira, also indoor track. He was the 3,200-meter champ in Class M. Our winner, going up and over, Mr. Zack Burley from Southington High School.
This is Sean Krofsik with the Meriden Record Journal. I'm with our male athlete of the week, Zack Burley, Southington senior pole vault extraordinaire. Yeah, congratulations on winning.
Thank you.
Yeah. What was it like winning the state championship?
It was pretty cool. I never really expected it. Growing up, I was always a baseball player, so I wanted to always win one in baseball, and then to win it in a different sport, it's still just as cool to know like that I was the best in the state that day.
Well, tell me about that day and how were you able to win?
I just went into it knowing I had a chance that if I had one of my better days, that I'd be up there at the top. And it came down to my last jump, and I knew like I've made that jump on my 3rd attempt before. And we had a motto all year, they give you 3 attempts for a reason. So I just went into it knowing I had a chance at it, and that if I missed, I was going to lose, and I didn't want to lose. So
that was a special day for you, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that's good. So tell us how you got into pole vaulting.
I was started as a distance runner, and I just didn't like it anymore. So I just tried everything, picked up pole vaulting, and it just kind of stuck. I was pretty good at it from the start, and I knew it could be something I could excel at if I stuck with it.
What other sports do you play? You focus primarily on track now?
Just mainly track now. I used to play baseball, but now just track all year round.
And what do you like to do when you're not at track? On track?
Just hanging out with my friends and family.
Yeah. So you and Megan, you guys are neighbors. What was it like for you guys to be state champions together?
That was really cool because we grew up together, and then we just kind of both found this sport and have worked hard at it together. And we won a big meet earlier in the year, and we talked about it like, oh, like we could be the only school to do that, like both win state championships. And then when it became a reality, it was really cool.
Zachary, thank you for taking time to speak with Sean and Mr. Pete Paguagua. Pete, we're ready to roll here with our boys nominees in Week 7. It's a good little mix here. You know, with the girls, we had all basketball players. Here we got a nice little variety, 3 different sports. We're going to start on the wrestling mats. The class championship meets were this past weekend. We had 2 champions. Now, Ben Stratton from Platte, congrats to you, sir. Class M champion, 182 pounds. If you remember, folks, Ben was nominated earlier this season when he went over 100 career wins. Our nominee this week is Meriden's other champion. It's his second time he defended 132 pounds, Class L. He is Mr. Dimitri Carnot, and he's just, really putting the wraps on a fantastic senior season, fantastic career. He is Maloney's all-time winningest wrestler ever. That's saying something, too, given Maloney's tradition. Pete, I've got it written down right here. You want to know what Dimitri's all-time record is going into the State Open this week? 146-19. Wrap your head around that. If I could really do quick math like Tom Lipka over at Lyman Hall, I could tell you what his winning percentage is. 146 wins in 165 matches. Phenomenal. Dimitri Carnot, two-time class champion, did it again, won his championship bout with a major decision. A guy who's back at cruising altitude for Wilcox after an injury is our nominee here in week number 7. He is Will Pollack, senior big man. Pete loves this guy. He's always talking about him. He looks like Ron Gronkowski. Well, Will has a big game. He certainly does. The other night against Goodwin Tech was a big game for Wilcox. They had lost to Goodwin in the Britain earlier this year. It was senior night. They were honoring Roosevelt Scheider, Meriden's all-time basketball scorer with 1,984 points. A lot of things going on. So, of course, Wilcox, they got to win that game. Will Pollack, a big game with 13 rebounds and a career-high 22 points. And our third and final nominee, and he literally was our third and final nominee amongst the boys because of what he did on Sunday night. If I had anybody else in this slot, they were going to have to wait a little while. Sheehan hockey, the goaltender, Mr. Tyler Robertson. You see him right here. He's a junior. He's a veteran. And they had their big rivalry match on Sunday night with the Lyman Hall Co-op over at Northford Ice Pavilion. And, hey, anytime these teams meet, it's always a close affair. But Sheehan, with Robertson, the kid had hurt his leg against Eastern Connecticut Eagles on Wednesday. So he literally limped into Sunday night's game, like Willis Reed. I know I keep going back to that example, but it's really the same thing. Leg injury, gimping into the game, toughing it out. There were times where Tyler's teammates had to help him up after he made some saves. The kid gutted it out. He gave up 2 first period goals, but that was it. After that, Sheehan came back from a 2-zip deficit, won 3-2. And less than 24 hours, Pete, he's playing again over at the Danbury Ice Arena against BBD, and they won that game, and Tyler actually had a couple assists. So that's a pretty transcendental week. How do we say no to Tyler? We do not. And there you have it, folks. Our latest list of nominees. Please go online and vote. Polls are now open as soon as you see this. They're open tonight, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday up until midnight. Go up and vote. We'll let you know next week who our winners were for Week 7 and bring you a fresh slate of candidates. And remember, all Athlete of the Week nominees, all Record Journal selections, scholar athletes, athletes of distinction get invited to our end-of-the-year awards brunch, the Best of the Bunch awards brunch at the AquaTurf, June 24th with Mr. Jim Calhoun. We should give Jim a call just to confirm again. You know, it's always good to talk with Jim. Folks, I am Brian Carpenter, sports editor of the Record Journal. We appreciate you tuning in every week. We'll have the highlight show on Saturday. Check us out there too. Be good.